What's good, LL Nation? Lucky Lefty Podcast. Brought to you by Onora Whiskey, OnoraWhiskey.com. It is that premium American whiskey, OnoraWhiskey.com. And if you're going to drink, by all means, make sure you do so.
Responsibly.
You got to do it responsibly. Left is out there putting in work for Onora. Got some links,
Got
some
some
links and
links.
some connects, unintended, coming in the future and coming this week. We're so appreciative of your continued support. Go to Apple Podcasts and Spotify, CFB Nation in conjunction with Irish Breakdown for all of our great content. Also, State of Recruiting with our guy John Garcia Jr. Fantastic content over CFB Nation in conjunction with Irish Breakdown. It's the Lucky Lefty Podcast. You already know we spin it different. So, Left, I guess we start off with getting your feelings because you haven't had an opportunity to really speak. You spoke when the offer was given and made, and the interview was taken by Tommy Rees as he traveled down to Tuscaloosa and met with Nick Saban. But since it became official that he made his decision and spoke to the administration and spoke to Marcus Freeman and the players and let them know that he would be taking the job as the new offensive coordinator at Alabama, you have not had your opportunity to express yourself. So I'm going to allow you to express yourself, and then I'm going to talk about another Notre Dame legend that clearly expressed himself this weekend.
Man, I think Tim Brown definitely went in on his thoughts, but the Tommy thing is very interesting to me. I think a lot of it is confusing because it's a lateral move. I think the Notre Dame offensive coordinator position is as prestigious as an Alabama offensive coordinator position. I think even more because without Nick Saban, Alabama offensive coordinator position is what? Just another job. Just another job. It wouldn't be like had Notre Dame offensive coordinator with Brian Kelly, without Brian Kelly, get Chip Kelly in there. It don't matter because the status of what an offensive coordinator means at Notre Dame carries weight. So it's not the fame that you're looking for. I hope not, because if you're looking to go on to Nick Saban, what Nick Saban's telling you to do on offense is not the same freedom that you get over here that they gave you the keys for. And personally, I think we have a better roster this year, particularly offensively, than Alabama does. You're going in there to find more work. You don't have a quarterback that you know of right now. You got to install a whole new system. You got guys leaving and coming. You don't even know who's on the team right now. So the move is very alarming to me because I don't understand what it was for. Are you running from the heat that's coming down the chimney at Notre Dame where your expectations as being the solo dude calling the plays is going to be on you because you ain't won nothing? You look at a guy like Brian Leftwich, got 3 division championships, has been second in leading the NFL in scoring and in yards, had Tom Brady, got a Super Bowl all in 3 years, and can't get a job. Can't get a head coaching job. Can't get a job somewhere else. Tommy ain't won a damn thing. And he the hottest offensive coordinator in college football. How? You haven't won anything. Haven't got no quarterbacks drafted. Haven't put no numbers up that's respectable in college football where we like, damn, okay. Nothing. You have gave us nothing but terrible quarterback play, terrible recruiting in the quarterback room, and you the hottest ticket on the market. That don't make no damn sense. So it is a good thing that you left because you was in the way. You was clearly in the way. You wasn't bringing in Marcus franchise quarterback like he wanted. Now he got to go do it himself. You didn't want to bring a quarterback coach. Now he got to go do it himself. You wasn't trying to run a damn ball in the beginning of the season. When we losing to Marshall and Stanford, you got Marcus Freeman over there, arms folded. Why we not running the damn ball? Why we doing tight end jet reverse sweeps on the 1 yard line? So now Marcus Freeman got to do it himself. So I do think that this is good for Marcus Freeman. He finally gets control of his own team. I've never seen a head coach not be able to get coaching control his first year at a prestigious university. So now the training wheels get to be taken off. Tommy had a lot of good hype around him, clearly. A lot of people in the building liked him a lot for what offensive mind, mastermind, and all that. But I just know a guy with a resume that got 3 NFC championships, AFC championship, Super Bowl, coach the greatest quarterback of all time, and can't get a job. I got another guy compared to that got none of that quality, not even a first round pick, not even top scoring offense, not anything like that. 1-1 in bowl game, 2-1 in bowl games, 2-1 in whatever. And is the hottest thing on the market. So it's a reason why Tommy was Saban's third choice. And it wasn't his first. But for a third choice to go run from something that was a better opportunity shows a lot about him. Now, it's definitely a win-win for him because you're going to Alabama under Nick Saban. But does that mean more than what the value you could have created at Notre Dame as an offensive coordinator and the quarterback coach? I don't know. And it's even crazier because Notre Dame said they'll match the number. They wanted to keep you.
That was PR, bro.
And it could be PR. Still, I get that. But at least we said it. So it couldn't have been about the money. Couldn't have been about what? What is it about? I believe he did it because he was scared of what was at Notre Dame and what the challenge was required to ask of him. He can go to Alabama and win 10 games because he don't have to take the blunt force of it. Nick Saban's going to take the blunt force of it. But when Tommy put that quote out there, he said, I'm responsible, this and that. He didn't want that smoke. He didn't want that.
We're going to get to that.
On me.
Speak on that, Left.
He
Speak
said
on that.
Falls on me when we ain't doing what we supposed to do. It's on me and it's all on me. Yeah, I know. But you end up knowing and realizing that you don't like how it feels when you got to be singled out. You can't put no shield like Ian Book in front of it. They looked at you because you didn't want a quarterback coach. Who are we going to look at? Marcus Freeman was a linebacker in college. We ain't expecting him to be dialing up. So we had to look at you, and you didn't perform. You didn't meet the expectations. I don't know where the hype came from. You played better than you coached there. I'd rather you strap a helmet up than you call plays. If that was the case, you could have served us better than Drew Pine. But you recruited Drew Pine. You thought Drew Pine was the bridge to success at Notre Dame. I hope you don't think that's going to be good down in Alabama. Nick Saban going to be like, who are you bringing in? Who is this? So we agree Tommy's going to be fine no matter what he does in college football. Tommy got that battery in his back from the powers of that be, so he's going to be straight. But it was a distraction for Marcus Freeman. I feel like Marcus Freeman wanted to get him going a long time ago because it wasn't a good fit. When I get the keys to my house, they're not giving another set of keys to somebody else. I ain't never seen that.
Mm-hmm.
You sign the name on the dotted line, you sign a deed to the house, they give you the keys, and then when you leave, they go give another set of keys to another person? So now it gets to be Marcus Freeman's house. He gets to fill out his staff the way he wants to. And I think he's more prepared than he is surprised that Tommy made this move.
That was about 6 minutes left. I thought you was going to put together a God did whole verse today. You only went 6.
But since the beginning, I've always been like, Tommy on a short leash anyway. Y'all wanted to give him these, we can fresh start, wipe the slate clean. I was on him from the beginning. So I knew in the beginning when I was exposing the truth, that was a heavier weight than most people realize. I knew the weight was heavy. That's why I said it. I knew that weight was heavy. And he realized it. And he was like, man, this year 3, I ain't moved the needle at all. I'm not about to take this.
You made an interesting point, Left. This was the year where no longer the fan base was not about to, because there were a lot of people that stuck up for Tommy. Him, former players that were his friends and everything, and they wanted to make excuses. This was the year, no more excuses. You got two quarterbacks. You basically got two starting quarterbacks on your roster.
You recruited the best one out of the transfer portal.
Now you have numbers in the wide receiver room.
You got talent. It ain't like Dale Alexander talking about I can't do nothing with these kids.
The running back room is stacked.
Running back room is why you was
Offensive
successful this
line,
last year.
good.
Foundation, great.
No
Every game.
excuses. It's a make or break. Either you're about to get exposed or you're about to become a legend. Or I can go reset. I can go reset at Alabama.
Reset, run away, go to Alabama, never have to face the music. The only music you will face is Nick Saban knocking on your door saying you need to be better. You're not going to get it from the fan base because they're looking at Nick. It's no different than what Brian Kelly did. Brian Kelly knew the end of the road. He couldn't give the university more than what he already gave it. So what did he do? He said, I'm not about to fall on this sword. I'm about to go take the money and run.
Yeah.
Give him a mediocre 10-win season at LSU. They're gonna feel good because of that, because that's what I'm good at.
See, that's what you
close.
You, Brian Driscoll, tons of Notre Dame fans that I've seen express themselves, other people that cover Notre Dame football, have all said the same thing. Like, how do you leave your alma mater for a lateral move? It doesn't make sense. The quarterback situation is better. The talent is just
probably the best
pretty
it's
much
been
the
since
same.
you've been there.
Best since you've been here. You built it. You built the quarterback room up to have Minchie in there.
Because you had all the
two
control.
starters and CJ Carr coming down the line. And you leave all of this, for that, doesn't make sense. It doesn't add up.
And the difference, too, between him and Kelly is Notre Dame wasn't matching the offer.
No. Now, this is shocking. This is shocking. We did put an LL poll out on the YouTube channel and asked the question, should Notre Dame match Alabama's offer? 46%. First of all, I need to talk to these 46%. 46% of people that voted said yes, Notre Dame should match the offer. And I was like, yo, this is incredible. You know how I feel about giving non-max players max money.
We had Zach LaVine on the roster.
Man, he is definitely a Zach LaVine of offensive coordinators. Facts. That's a perfect comp. Tommy Rees is definitely a Zach LaVine.
Everybody wants to give him the max, but real Bulls fans know we ain't giving that man no max.
No.
But many people, analysts, you get on TV, they'll try to slide it past you. Oh, yeah, Zach LaVine, franchise, max player.
Nah.
Real Bull fans know.
Can't do it. Pull out my Mike Singletary. Can't do it. Won't do it.
Hey, Tommy Rees is like Chandler Parsons, man. You'd be like, why is Chandler getting paid every
First of all, I have no Chandler Parsons, the greatest hustler in the history of the NBA. I have no issues with Chandler Parsons, bro. None.
You're okay with the way he been robbing the
if you can convince people to give you the bag without even taking the floor.
Oh, man.
That means in your workouts, you look fabulous, bro. He is the best workout player in the history of the NBA.
The amount of money this man, him and Chase Daniels, they know how to just vacuum up some money, man.
Man, hey.
And they complain about black people not working on the job.
Like Jay said, you can't knock the hustle, bro. You cannot knock the hustle. So, we're going to talk about the candidates. Who should Notre Dame go after? And Marcus Freeman, I said this on Friday. Marcus Freeman wasn't. Make sure I say this correctly. Not only was Marcus Freeman ready that this happened, as far as looking for the replacement of Tommy Rees, it was a load off of Marcus Freeman. Because he knew he was going to have to go through this bull every year until it happened. Every year. Low key, I
No,
think when he walked down to the office last year, face to face, and
he
asked
said, "Don't do
Tommy,
that shit
"Do
again."
you want it? No. Do you want to be here? I'm giving you your out right now. Do you want to be here? Just tell me. Because if you don't, we can make this happen right now. I can go get my guy right now."
Because I don't know why I couldn't get him in the first place. I come down, I see a nameplate already on there. How that nameplate already? I just got here. So you in the way, but you're right. This was going to be an every year thing.
Every year.
Remember Brian Kelly after 2012? It was every year. It was like, is he going to go to the Eagles?
Year.
Is he going to go to the league? Is he going to go to the NFL? Was he going? Because you hit that point where you're like, I can do no more. So Marcus Freeman, how you going to build a program when your OC quarterback coach, the whole thing on offense, taking trips every time? It's like, my goodness, can we you taking more trips and developing new concepts and schemes? Where the schemes at?
Man.
You should lay out 5 schemes and concepts we're gonna put in next year before you start taking plane trips across the country. Because then you come back with more smoke and nothing to show for it. 3 points against, what was it, 10 points against Stanford?
He is, you know what? This is so amazing. I saw someone say, well, you know, Dan Orlovsky has juggled Tommy's jewels for like 2 years. Just based on what? I have no clue.
That's what be the, and that, you know what? That's be the craziest. It'd be like, for what? Yeah, the man got some things going. But y'all, the extra layer of, the extra lather.
Look,
it's like, what is this man really doing? Like, it's confusing. If you could, it'd be one thing if it was like Todd Monken, and we'd be like, man, we had that brother as long as we could, man. He done had number 1 offense, had 6 touchdowns for his quarterback in the national championship game. Todd Monken, the man. So then when you get on TV and it's like he the number 1 offensive coordinator pick, he out here taking visits, and you like, oh, I understand. But if you ain't producing that, where is all this hype coming from? Are you paying people? Like, are these your homies for real? Like back growing up, y'all just always look out for each other? Because I'm not. The media is getting Tommy hired. Cutting on the tape, I doubt it's getting Tommy hired. I doubt it.
Oh, his whole wait. Let's be honest, man. His entire coach career has been about nepotism.
Yes,
we spoke on that. The relationship between the people up in Northwestern with his father and how he got on the staff there. Like,
come on, dude.
His process has been sped up, unlike anyone else's. It's crazy, and we're not saying that to hate, because we do what we do to be able to give our children the same opportunity.
Because I can't wait.
Man,
I didn't even know it's going to work the same all the way through. If it's going to work the same all the way throughout, fine. I just got to play the game.
Right. Do you honestly think baby girl is out on the left coast? You think I don't make calls?
Yeah, you better. Come on, man. It would be a disservice for you not to do that. So we're not hating, because we know what it is. I just think for Marcus Freeman, it's a great time to move forward before you 3-4 years deep with all types of recruiting classes that Tommy's had influence on and what they're expecting on getting when they come in. Thank goodness Kenny Minchie's not expecting too much. He can still have a long career at Notre Dame under a different coordinator and not let him skip a beat. Hopefully we can say the same for Carr.
You want to talk about 81?
You can tell he was waiting on that. That was in the same draft.
Yeah, this is not a tweet. This is not a tweet that was in the moment. This was a tweet that had been thought about and crafted for a while. for a while.
But didn't want to put it out there because it was too early.
Yeah,
It was a
because
little
he
too early.
understood. No, he understood the roots. That he understood the roots that 11 had
Yeah.
within that administration and at the school.
He
He
knew.
understood that. He knew. But the moment,
Because it
the
was too quick.
moment, man, the
3
moment.
different tweets. I'm talking about he used all 240 characters in each tweet. This was saved.
Yes. Yes. Yes, man.
And he broke it down. He ain't just come off the tip and said, "Oh, I'm glad he said, here's my point 1.
Mm-hmm.
Here's my point 2.
Mm-hmm.
Here's my thesis. I think he depended on Kelly." I'm like, just and Hero Ball, we talked about it. We talked about the Hero Ball. Now I think some of it though.
That's something that's funny because you mentioned that during the regular season.
During the regular
That it was
season.
Hero Ball. You mentioned that multiple times, love.
Multiple times. And okay, now some of it, obviously, we talked about in the spring game. We was like, oh, Drew may be the starter. We need to be handing that thing off. Oh, Tyler he's gonna be the starter first time. Oh, he need to be handing that thing off. He need to be what we laugh about, just turn around, handing the biscuit off. So some of that of it being predictable, yeah. Yeah, obviously. We got great running backs. 87 is number 1 tight end. Of course, we're gonna have a lot of action with them too. So I got to push back a little bit on that. Because that's what we expected. What, 60-40, 60-30, or 70-30 run?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I agree with him on the fact that the only thing is we didn't have to do it that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
It wasn't Michael Mayer and the Marauders. Michael Mayer and the Irish. We got talent. Maybe if it was in Tim Brown days, okay, I can see why we're giving it to 81 all the time. But we have a top recruiting class in the country for years now. So we got dudes. That's what the frustrating part was. Alabama, you think Alabama, if Alabama was Notre Dame, we would have never heard about the receivers they've had. We probably would have never heard about Waddle. We would have heard Jerry Jeudy and Devontae Smith. Because they would have threw it to him every time. Alabama threw it to everybody on the roster. And they won games because of it. Remember, who was it? Waddle tore his ACL in the season? And they still had Henry Ruggs.
No. It was messed up his ankle.
Messed up his ankle?
His ankle, yeah.
He was going the first game of the season, and they didn't skip a beat.
Yeah.
And Waddle was the fastest in the NFL right now.
He had a fracture, yeah.
So if Waddle was on Notre Dame, it would be an 8-4 season. Because Waddle would have went down. If Michael Mayer went down week 1, what would we have looked like?
I don't even want to talk about it.
I don't even want to talk about it.
Nope. You talking about Mayer goes down and we still have Drew Pine as quarterback? I don't even want to talk about it.
What would we have looked like, Shaun? I don't think Tommy would have made it out the season. Because then it would have been like, why does our quarterback room look like that? Who's responsible for that? So I think he saw the writing on the wall. And we should have seen the writing on the wall when we had to pull a backup from a Big Ten school. That we love the name Jack Cohn, but that's after we made it. But before we start calling him Jack Cohn, it was the backup at Wisconsin. That's who we was working with.
Lucky Lefty Podcast, Apple Podcast, Spotify, YouTube. Hit the like button. Hit the notification bell. CFB Nation. Great content. Leave 5 stars. Leave your comments. In conjunction with Irish Breakdown. Lucky Lefty Podcast. We spin it different.
Nobody likes taking.
And people, I tell people in the chat to relax. Left has not had a proper moment. to discuss the issue.
I commend people.
So no, I just want to say, like, relax.
Right.
Just relax. Let him talk about Tommy Rees. He didn't get a chance to talk about him after he took the job. Like, let me produce the show and give him an opportunity to do that. And we'll get to the coaches and the OC positions shortly. But let Left have his say. He's been making connections and
I'm gonna
hasn't
try to
had
make
the
it happen.
opportunity to speak.
Absolutely,
Thank
man.
you.
I'm
Now, can I get to what 81 actually said?
get to
At 81 Tim Brown on
it.
Twitter.
Wait, you gonna share the screen? You gonna share the tweet up there?
You know what? I wasn't even going to be that disrespectful. But since you mentioned it, Left, since you mentioned it, I mean, I could do it.
Yeah, just so the
Sure,
people know we get word for word. Cause they like to
sure,
say we spinning it too different and taking words out of context. We just want to put it up on the screen.
sure. By all means, you know me. I'm all for the people. Give the people what they want.
Oh my god.
Yeah, there you go. Tim Brown at 81. Tim Brown. This is a great day for Irish football and maybe even a better day for Tommy Rees. See, he was nice.
A
Just
win-win.
lets you know he measured it. I've been around a lot of offenses, but the Irish offense last year, with maybe the exception of the Carolina game, was extremely predictable. Seeing the
Hmm.
offensive struggle told me at least two things. Tommy was very dependent on Kelly, and more important, he didn't have the ability to dissect the defense. What we saw is what I call, in all caps, hero ball.
Mm.
You have a player, Mayor in parentheses, who is better than the person covering you, and you throw him the ball a zillion times. Make him the hero. If that doesn't work for you, if that doesn't work, you lose. I was at a couple of games where it took everything in me not to go knock on the booth window and say, "Give me the call sheet." Ah! Multiple exclamation points or exclamation marks. LOL! Exclamation mark. I truly wish him well. He's going to need it. Let's go Irish.
Said I wanted to bang on the play caller window. Said, give me the sheet.
Let me read between the lines, Left, because I can't speak. I'm not speaking, but I'm not speaking directly for Tim Brown, but we have had the opportunity to speak to several former players, and there was a considerable amount of former players that took issue with Marcus Freeman not being able to choose his own offensive coordinator.
We've said it on
Several,
this show. We've said it on
several,
this show plenty of
several. There were several former Notre Dame players that took issue.
because nobody's ever heard of that. Nobody's ever done like they didn't even do that with Kelly when he first got here. He came from Cincinnati. What the heck? Anyway,
Dude. So there you have it. He goes to Alabama, he takes the job. Lasting impressions, bro. Lasting impressions.
I think we have cleared the house of all potential distractions from what Marcus Freeman really wants to build. I think the house is totally cleaned out now. Oh, we got an all new floor. We took the carpet out. We finally got rid of that couch that was here before we even pulled up. And now the room looks a little bit bigger. I think that Marcus Freeman is secretly going like this because I think he knows he can lock in on what he really wants to do. I'm appreciative of Tommy being an alumni, coming
Mm-hmm.
back to his university, putting in some solid work. Got Michael Mayer drafted number one. I think that's great. Number one tight end. But man, I know that now the attention shifts a little off of that and goes back to how important this next season is for Marcus Freeman, and even more
Facts.
so the next big hire that he's going to add to a staff that's already loaded, especially defensively. I think he'll make more than one hire now that Tommy's gone. Hopefully, we get some quarterback OC in there, maybe even an offensive analyst or two. You know, don't be afraid to stuff the staff up. I think we were very bare on one side of the cupboard, you know. So I think that Marcus Freeman and his response to this is going to be crucial, not only for the team this year, but teams coming down the pipeline, especially fixing the issues that we needed last year, and it comes from the offensive side too.
And you know what? Anthony Solomon says something here, and other people have said it in the chat earlier. But he says, I think Tommy thought he should have been given the head coaching
I
job
knew
over
Tommy
Marcus.
was off, and it
Look at
wasn't gonna last when he did because remember when Coach Kelly did that college game day and he sat on that stage and told him, yeah, Marcus Freeman is the next in line. Tommy was gone that day. He was gone that day.
That was midway through the 21 season.
He
I
sat
remember
on that
that.
stage and said, Marcus Freeman is going to be the next in line. He's a great head coach, blah, 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 blah. And Tommy was like, I'm gone. Because at the end of the day, Tommy took that Notre Dame job through nepotism, thinking Coach Kelly was coming to an end and he can coach that team. That's why he stuck around. That's why he didn't want to go with Kelly when he left. Because if it was about being in SEC, he would have went with Kelly. He would have had the same type of control he has at Notre Dame. He just would have been in the SEC with more talent, right? All of that. That Coach Kelly said he left for.
Yeah.
He could have went with Kelly. He didn't want to go with Kelly because he wanted to be the head coach. But how did Jack make it work? Jack said, look, you're not the head coach, but you can have another set of house keys. You be the head coach of the offense. We'll let Marcus Freeman run the team as the head coach with the title, but you be the head coach on offense. That's my compromise to you, Tommy. Because if this was about going to Alabama, he would have went to LSU. This just happened to be the closest thing to a great plausible deniability. Oh, this is just a great career move. But he's been looking for a way out because he didn't get the head coach. And I don't blame him. I would want to be the head coach too.
And for people that, I saw some people, they obviously must be new to the show. I saw some people trying to throw the word hate around.
Ain't nobody hating because
please.
Tommy's gonna be good regardless. We just know that we just see through the lines.
That's all.
You're not going up there speaking in front of your whole team after the head coach leave, talking about your heart's there. You want to win a championship, this, that, and the third. You ain't going nowhere. And then a couple years later, you leave for the damn near the same program he left for. Same conference. They play each other every year. The money probably the same. You were salty. You didn't get that nod from Jack. And Jack still compromised with you. Wasn't good enough in the long run because you knew you couldn't hold up your end of the bargain being an OC there. And that's cool.
Mike McNeil, we thank you for tapping in. Says, why so upset, Malik? He gone, let it be. Now MF gets to have his staff.
I'm great he gets to have his staff, but we just not gonna let it slide. Like,
look, can I look, you have to be careful. Let me protect you. That's what I do. And I can speak to this and I won't give too much. Okay? For a lot of reasons other than football. It's a lot of former players that are ecstatic that Tommy Rees is no longer in this program. I'll leave it at that. and has absolutely nothing to do with coaching. So don't just take Tim Brown. Tim Brown made it schematic, but if you really talk to Tim Brown, I guarantee you he can go deeper than football when it comes to his reasons for being happy for Tommy Rees no longer being at Notre Dame. So I kept my brother from having to speak on it as a former player.
Seriously.
I'll
But
take
it's
the
good,
heat.
though. It's good though, because we know that these type of hires are things that you got to just let the cycle run its course. Didn't get in off of merit, so you can't be mad when he leaves off of no merit. He's just cycling through in an industry where you got people looking out for you. Now we get a guy that has merit that we're hiring off of merit. We're not going to go after that guy. We go after the guy that hired him. But if you didn't get hired by that guy, you got to take the heat. And that's why Notre Dame is not a place for everybody, even if you've been there.
Lucky Lefty Podcast, man. Apple Podcast, Spotify. CFB Nation in conjunction with Irish Breakdown. Go get all of our great content. We spin it different. I'm ecstatic, Left, and we're going to talk about it. It's the Lucky Lefty Podcast. Left, it's time to find a new offensive coordinator at Notre Dame. Marcus Freeman has a huge opportunity in front of him. He had the same opportunity
going back up on the front line.
He had the
got
same
to answer once
opportunity
with the QB
last year. The position now, this is why I push back. This is divine. Let me look at it from this standpoint. Because you said he could have left for LSU. Wasn't a God's plan, Left. That wasn't in God's plan. Right? Because, what's meant for evil shall be turned to our good, Left. Because if he had left for LSU, the position would not have been as attractive.
That's right.
It would not have given Notre Dame an opportunity to, from a PR standpoint, prove that we're willing to put up the money by publicly saying we're going to match Alabama's offer.
That's true.
It would not have allowed.
We matching that $100 million.
It would not have allowed other things to be in position that would attract the eyes of some of the top candidates from around the country. See, you couldn't attract the top guys with the state Notre Dame was in last year this time. But now that he's chosen to go to Alabama, and you have Sam Hartman, you have Tyler Buckner, you have Kenny Minchey, you have C.J. Carr in the 24 class. You just picked up another commitment in the 24 class over the weekend. Things are looking up. So now you can go and you can pitch to different types of top candidates to attract the best. And you can say, look, we were about to make him. Wait a minute. You can say, he ain't even done nothing. And we were about to make him the highest paid assistant in college football or the highest paid OC in football. What do you think we'll do for you?
I mean, somebody's going to come into this position like, y'all got everything here?
All I got to do is just... That's why when the news broke in the middle of our show, I said, it's the best of both worlds. It's fantastic. Fantastic. Everybody was mad, like how it's a lateral move. Shh. Stop. Shh. Let him go. Let him go. Let him go. Stop. Stop trying to pull him back in. Let him go.
Yeah, if he said he's going to
let Al Pacino go. Let Al Pacino go. Let the Godfather leave the game. Let him go.
Y'all trying to confuse him, act like y'all still, trying to pull him in. Wait a minute.
Yes. Let him go. Let him do what he served his purpose. He
He set
served
us
his
up
purpose.
nice.
He set us up nice. Let him go. Let him do his thing. Now we can do our thing.
But they said if you love him, let him go. Let him
Let him
go. I know
go.
you love him. You know, he had the door. He wore the helmet too. I know you love. You probably got a jersey hanging up still.
And we don't need him coming back to us. You know, because that's the saying. If you really love someone, then let them go. And if it was real, they'll come back to you. No, stay away.
Yeah, let me love
Stay
from
away.
afar.
Love from afar. We appreciate you. We'll bring you back for the anniversary of the 2012 team, all of that. You want to come back for all the other teams that made the college football playoff? You want to come back for those reunions? Fine.
We're like Russell Westbrook and the Thunder. The Thunder
Absolutely.
don't want Russell back, even though you wanted the Thunder's greatest players of all time.
Let
But
them
the
go.
Thunder don't want you right
Let
now.
them go. 'Cause Notre Dame fans, you guys are doing too much. You're on social media doing too much. It's a lateral move. He's an alum. He played for us. How dare he leave? Shh. Stop.
It's okay.
Stop. It's turning for your good. It's turning for your good. Stop. Let him go. Let him go. Let him go.
What they say, it gets greater later.
Absolutely.
It gets greater later.
And this is the moment. This is the moment when everybody thinks, when all the national media says, this is not a good look for Notre Dame. How can one of their former players leave? It's divine. Oh, it's divine. And watch the hookup and the connection that comes next.
They think it's a setup, but it's really
Man,
divine.
do you remember the BET Awards when Destiny's Child brought Terrence Howard, Magic Johnson, and Samuel L. Jackson on the stage? And Destiny's Child did upgrade you and cater to you. We're about to get an upgrade at the OC position that's about to cater to Notre Dame fans the way we deserve to be catered to offensively for a long time.
And you know what's crazy? It's like the relationship. They didn't know how to be loved. We don't know how to be loved as a fan base from an offensive court. We don't know how to. That's like a lot of transition. A lot of transition. But Marcus Freeman said, "I'm gonna find you somebody that's right for you for the long term, not for a season, but for a reason." And that's a championship team.
See, you got to have the right mindset. I'm in a good mood today. Let me pull up my Bible right quick. No, I'm not going to do that. Notre Dame fans
Bring
for a
the
long
GC
time,
out,
it's been bad. I understand where you're at because your mindset has been really in neutral for a long time. It's been frustrating. No title since 1988. But with this move, you have to understand the opportunity because we're going to have the opportunity to switch our mindset. Because our mindset has been that all of the things that's happened to us, that's what our mindset has been. The bad things keep happening to us. Well, this is a situation where things are happening for us. See, it's a difference left. There's a difference left. See, things happen in your life, and you can interpret it as happening to you, or you can interpret it as happening for you.
It's not a loss, it's a lesson.
See, Tommy Rees leaving, nothing was happening to us. It's happening for us.
That's right.
This is an opportunity for us to do what we need to do. It's an opportunity for Marcus Freeman to get who we always wanted. And it's time for an upgrade at Notre Dame. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Nothing has happened to us. Everything that's taken place has happened for us. It's happened for us, Left.
Yeah.
It's for us.
The house just got a little bit more
Come on, boy.
spacious.
Man, if I had an organist behind me right now, boy,
It was like,
y'all be in trouble. You'd be in trouble. You'd be in trouble.
It's definitely happening for us. And you know it's happening for us because we don't even know it's coming. That's the best part. We know it's on the way when everybody is like, what's going on? That's how the man work, ain't it? That's how God work when everything is in chaos.
Left.
That's when the greatest moments happen.
Left. So Notre Dame fans, be overjoyed. Be grateful for what has been. But we can already get an excitement for what is to come.
What it is to come.
Because it's happening for us on today. It's happening for us on this week. Every Zoom call, everyone that steps on campus to interview. It's for our good, Notre Dame fans. We deserve this.
We deserve this.
We deserve for this offense to take the step forward. We deserve it. We waited too long.
Too long.
Waited too long. We deserve this. Let's go.
No more stuck
Let's
in neutral,
go.
guys.
No. So now let's talk about some of the candidates. You know, when you teach left, you get into it like that, and then you say, well, man, point number one, and you've been up for 15 minutes. That's what just happened.
Now let's start.
I haven't even got to the candidates yet, and I'm sorry.
Hey, that prelude is what you need, though. Because now they tapped in. They said, "Oh, we gotta have something good. Y'all must know something. Y'all done have me worried. Now I feel like he said heart, but now you got to deliver that message. Now you didn't came in the door, but you didn't take your shoes off."
Several candidates, both levels, NFL and college football. Some head coaches, some coordinators. Connections are very important. Marcus Freeman has worked with several people in some capacity. They will be getting interviews. We know the popular names that are out there. Andy Ludwig from Utah, Jason Candle. Dude, everybody has put the names out. And I'm going to say this, right? I believe those guys that have been mentioned, the majority of reports, will be people that get conversations. Talk about Joe Moorhead, coach of the Akron Zips. He's another one. Joe Brady, who I'm sure people like, yeah. I saw people mention David Shaw. David Shaw stepped away from the game, and in his press conference, he said, yo, the college game is just, the calendar is crazy now. I can't do it. That's what he said. So I'm going to take him at his word to this point. To say he's not ready. He's not ready for the grind. Some people have mentioned Chip Long returning. Jared Parker, who called plays. Well, who called plays before. He didn't get a lot of credit at West Virginia when he was there, but when he spent time at Purdue.
Who would you think, though, who is the type of coordinator that we need?
This is what we need to talk about. This is what we need to, first of all, because the names, I think we can start as certain names get hotter. We can talk about those more in depth. This coordinator has to be able to come in and work with the current staff. Now, Notre Dame does not have an offensive analyst. I need this coordinator to want that type of representation on the staff, to be able to analyze numbers, look at them, and give positive feedback. Defensive numbers, analyze them and give positive feedback. Not only that, I need him, whomever he is, to be able to have his primary focus beyond Sam Hartman. He needs to be able to develop or bring in someone with him that can develop Tyler Buckner, Kenny Minchie, CJ Carr, and anyone else. Tommy Rees was a really solid recruiter. Wasn't great. Because if you're great, Dante Moore is on this roster. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
If you're great. He's good. He's really good. Not great. And because of the disparity, or just comparing him to everyone else besides the current staff, I'm talking about the staff that he was on before. He was looked upon as being really great from a recruiting
Yeah.
standpoint because everybody else in that offensive staff was absolutely horrible. And Brian Kelly just flat out did not recruit. So everybody kind of got the point of view that, oh my God, Tommy is now you stack Tommy next to Dylan McCullough and Chancey Stuckey, and now you see,
Now you
okay,
see, yeah.
he's good. He's not great. He's good.
That's what a
So
lot of it has to come down to too, huh? It's just the, like you said, relationships.
absolutely. It's all
Joe
about
Brady,
relationships.
Joe Brady's relationship with Ed Orgeron and Joe Burrow made that work. Joe Brady, outside of that
Now you just said a
specific,
name. You just said a name. See, now you got to peep this. You have to peep why certain guys are sniffing around campus and spending a lot of time around campus. Ed Orgeron spent a hell of a lot of time
yeah, just
around
there.
the Notre Dame campus recently. And you just mentioned the relationship he had with Joe Brady.
They won a championship together.
Some dots are going to be connected here. And I'm not saying Joe Brady is the front runner. I'm not saying he's
No,
going to get the job. I'm just saying there will be a
facts.
phone
Ed
conversation.
Orgeron was around a lot.
A
Maybe
lot.
is he dropping some suggestions here and there? Is he helping Marcus Freeman
And
understand
in
different things?
terms of, let me clarify. In terms of the landscape of college football, Joe Burrow was a body on a roster when he got to LSU. Nobody knew Joe Burrow was going to become Joe Burrow. He hadn't done
He was
anything.
solid his first year, though. It was solid.
It was
His first year
solid,
was solid.
but nobody saw that offense coming the second year. But I think the next offensive coordinator definitely needs to be able, if you go get a guy from the NFL, most NFL guys really don't want to recruit. So that means you have to go get a hell of a quarterback coach that can recruit. If your play caller can't recruit, that quarterback coach has to be able to recruit because your head coach is a defensive guy. It'd be different if your head coach was a Ryan Day type. No, you got a defensive minded head coach. So if your play caller, offensive coordinator, isn't a great recruiter, you have to back that up with a quarterback coach that can recruit his butt off.
That's right.
You
Because
have to.
you can't lack in that area.
No, it's great. Debating Tommy who he was from a recruiting standpoint, that's a loss in offensive recruiting. You have to replace that. And even if you go get a great play caller, let's say from the NFL, you have to be able to supplement that recruiting that was lost.
Yeah, you can't get a great play caller and he's lax on recruiting because you won't bring nobody in.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Right? And if you go get a Jason Candle, a Joe Moorhead, who are head coaches,
And they be your lead
and they leave
recruiter
to come be your OC,
or OC, okay.
you have to ask questions. Are they great recruiters? You have to dig deep. You have to do your research. Are they going to bring people with them? Right? Some candidates might say, well, man, I want to bring this wide receiver coach with me. We're good with Chancey.
Yeah, we good with
We're
Chancey.
good with Chancey.
I think we good with Chancey for sure.
You know, there's some head coaches that might have coached wide receivers. I think Jason Candle has coached wide receivers before. So he has to be willing to relinquish that. Like, hold on.
Yeah.
Yo, Chancey's good. It's a lot of moving parts here. And so we're going to have to find the right fit moving forward for the future. From a play calling standpoint, the talent's here. There are a lot of candidates from a play calling standpoint that can come in and get this offense to execute this year.
The bunch.
But moving forward, what is your vision? That's going to be key for Marcus Freeman because Marcus Freeman's like, we know we got a good team in 23. We know we have talent. We know we're going to run the ball. We got a quarterback now. We're going to put up some more points. What about development, recruiting, and moving this offense forward? What about that? That's going to be key. And for me, one of the most important parts of the conversation in the interview or interviews that Marcus Freeman is going to have with several candidates this week.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a more in-depth conversation because it's a little deeper than just, winning for today. We definitely have the team to win for today, but I think relationships going to matter the most because the vision is important. I think Marcus Freeman is one of the few college football coaches that are really stuck on this is the vision and how we want to build it on these three basic things: run the ball, stop the ball, be physical. So with that, I think the relationship he has with his offensive coordinator has to be somewhere in line with that because it's not about next year. It's about how you're going to turn that room into a unit that needs to be, top 2 on the team next to linebackers. I mean, if I was thinking, so it's definitely a requirement for Marcus Freeman to take his time, but also I think it would be beneficial to get 2 guys in there and 2 guys that work well with each other, but also can work well with what the team needs and not what because all these guys are great coaches as standalones. But which is the great coach that can fit into what we're doing and can thrive in that? And I think, Marcus Freeman, if anybody, he's been making great staff moves. I think it's one of the ones that he adds to that, and it'll show as an impact off rip going into the spring.
Mm-hmm.
I think his impact on this position selection is definitely going to impact on site. As soon as he gets there, it's going to be interesting with Sam Hartman and what he's going through because there is no loyalty. Now your guy's gone. I think Tommy had a huge part in convincing Sam that was the place to be, just like Caleb Smith, the transfer from Virginia Tech. So it's going to be interesting to see what Marcus Freeman thinks about that. Is he okay? I got these transfers in. I'm gonna be loyal to the soil to him, or I'm looking for somebody to develop Tyler and these young guys because that's what it's about. The offense is going to be the offense in terms of receivers that's coming in, running backs that's coming in, all that. But what's the relationship with the quarterbacks and what you can do to promote the development in that room? Specifically because I feel like we haven't had that as a standalone, a quarterback coach, and Marcus Freeman probably is realizing we just need that piece along with being the OC that can help it go.
Yeah, so, you bring a guy that you spoke about this. Like, you don't like having a play caller that tries to coach quarterbacks at the same time. And somebody asked about Chauncey. I'm sure Chancey Stuckey has the skill set to coach several positions offensively. Look at what he's doing at wide receiver. Why would you move him? That would be my question. Why? Why would you move him? For what?
Yeah, for what?
You have quarterback. I mean, you have head coaches that don't particularly want to coach the quarterbacks. This is why you're diligent, right? Because you can go out and everybody sounds great. I think all the names that have been thrown out there, I can't even say I would be disappointed in any of the names. The top 3-4 names have been thrown out there. I wouldn't be disappointed in any of the names.
Yeah, you can't go. Look, we got great choices.
I wouldn't be disappointed. Staff continuity
important
is very important to Marcus Freeman in this process.
Because look at defense. You got Al Golden, great connection.
But somebody that might be leaving, depending upon how these NFL jobs open up and change. Washington this morning just lost their offensive line coach. Not all Washington, but Oregon just lost the offensive line coach because he took an NFL job with the Patriots. Yeah. And more jobs are going to continue to open during Super Bowl week and after the Super Bowl. So this might not be the only move that's needed on this staff moving forward. It might not be. We'll see. Heck, I'm pretty sure some NFL team is going to reach out to Dylan McCullough.
Yeah. I mean, Notre Dame, you expect that. I've had 3 offensive coordinators in 3 years. So it happens, but you know where you at. You at a place, players, coaches, administration, alike, even regular students.
Yeah.
Notre Dame is a great platform to get skyrocketed into whatever direction you want to
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
So
So I mean,
as
look, there
long
are
as you're
people.
good, you're gonna get a chance. And we're good enough consistently to be an attractive nest to poach from. And
Yeah.
I can't be mad at none of them coaches, man.
The same thing that you said. Not so necessarily. It's how you craft it, right? Not necessarily bringing another coach with them as far as this is their position. Your one of your primary quarterback coaches is now the head coach of the Green Bay Packers when you were there. But he wasn't known as the quarterback coach. He was a GA, but he operated as a quarterback coach and worked with you guys. So that Den Brock really didn't have to do that. And I still to this day, I don't think Den Brock really wants to work with quarterbacks, even though he's a fantastic. He did a fantastic
Denbrock
job.
is an older gentleman.
Older
The
man.
man just want to call his plays,
That's it.
recruit when he got to, not really. And I think the role that he went back to LSU for fits that.
Yeah.
Because him and Coach Kelly are boys. And I know Coach Kelly ain't pressing him to go do no recruiting because he ain't doing ears.
Yeah, absolutely. So look, Andy Ludwig, for the sheer purpose of like, yo, if you can bring that USC kryptonite you got
Oh, at Utah?
with you at
Yeah.
Utah, man, it's worth it. Especially this year, right? Loves to use the tight ends. Similar to what Tommy does from a personnel standpoint. I would
They
venture
just
to
stay
say
committed. He stays committed. Tommy's more
he
nuanced.
absolute. Go to that.
Yeah.
Go to
He
that.
stays
Why
committed to
Utah
the
has been
run
able.
game,
Yes.
hell or high water. He has great play design from the run game, hella high water, play action, got his quarterback thinking the right way on this stuff. And it looks simple. Tommy is the same idea, run game, tight end centric, whatever, but it's all nuance. He want to throw in a couple motions. You want to throw in a concept to play off of this. It's not ever a streamline of, I know you're trying to run, so let me try to stop that first and then go. It's like, yeah, we run, but I'm going to get bored and I'm going to try to do some cute stuff over here. Or I'm going to try to, look like a run, but really try to do some crazy. So it's really like a guy that's consistent with the basics compared to a guy that's has a lot of fundamental and good technique, but he always trying to do something more, always trying to do something new. And he can never stay on that. This is what you're really good at, and you break off from that. Utah, I love where Utah play USC. I mean, it was just smash mouth. It was like, look, I know you think it's annoying, but we're not leaving from it. We know we killing you on running right. We're gonna keep killing you running right. We're not gonna get bored and be like, let's start throwing to the right. No. We're gonna keep running to the right. It's gonna wear you down, and you're gonna start seeing stuff off of that. So Utah, I like the way Utah runs their offense. But man, I would like to see us score a lot of points too. I'd like to see that scoreboard light up. Because we got the talent. We got the talent. Like the running back for Utah was a quarterback before.
Yeah.
Like, come on, like we got running backs.
He definitely gets the most out of his resources.
Oh, what?
Definitely gets the most out of his resources at Utah. So Andy Ludwig, absolutely, would be a great hire. I'm not sure whether or not. I mean, yeah, that's a better position to be in for him. But some guys are just cool where they're at. And that's the question I think that's going to face Andy Ludwig and his family. Like, are we cool where we're at? We love it here. Or is he one of those guys that wants to continue to grow in his career? Or is he comfortable where he's at? So that's going to be interesting. Money always makes things a little bit better. But everybody doesn't just move for the money. and that's that as well. So, what do you think about Joe Moorhead, Akron head coach? He was at Oregon, and the Duck offense was pretty. It was good
Did he have
while he was there.
the dude from San Diego? I mean,
But
not San Diego.
his in my
Justin Herbert.
yes,
Yeah,
he was
Justin Herbert.
also the Trace McSorley group that was at Penn State
Mm.
that put up a lot of points. That's on his resume. They averaged like almost 40 points a game when he was there. So for him, it's more of a spread offense. And you think about that because we don't know. We know what Notre Dame has had to do and who they were this year, but we don't know who Marcus Freeman wants to be offensively. We know who we've seen, but we don't know who he wants to be. Because you can run the ball from a spread offense. You can still have heavy run principles in a spread offense. So Joe
The way we
Moorhead.
recruited, though, this team can go in any direction. I think we're more balanced than we've been in years before.
Mm-hmm.
Where last year, I think the run game was the key to victory. This year, it could be either one.
Yeah.
I think we can experiment throwing the football a lot more and have a lot of success with the veteran leadership of a Sam Hartman and a receiver group that's hungry. I think the old ways, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, could work too. We can run that football still, no different than last year. We got the same people. They're getting better, healthier, and we're adding Jadarian Price.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be nice.
You spoke on your guy Mike Denbrock already, and
It's just like Tommy. It's like we love you. Just
I feel like that's still like residue of Brian Kelly. Like,
yeah, just stay gone, dog.
yeah. Jason Candle, another head coach from Toledo, and he's done a pretty good job. 54-32 record at Toledo. Very creative offensive coordinator, pro style, but he's able to put up points. He pushes the ball down the field. You know, he produced 7 1,000-yard rushers, or rushing seasons, shall I say. And I don't know, man. I just think it will be hard for him because he's been a success in the MAC. I think he's waiting for that opportunity, but you get to a point where if that opportunity does not come after you've been there a while in a mid-major, that going back to a Power 5 in a assistant position might be the jump start on your career that you actually need. It depends on how he views it and where he's at in his mindset.
Yeah, it just, man, it's such a deep dive in a coaching selection because you want it to be the right one, but there's, like you said, so many factors that are included into it that those have to be right. You're absolutely right. Denbrock would be a great choice, just not at Notre Dame right now.
Yeah.
You know, like if you just theoretically just putting guys in the position of the OC, yeah, capable, all of them are very capable. What are you going to get the most out of, though? Shit, I think only Marcus Freeman can really find that out. I really like the Utah's offensive coordinator just from a style perspective. I think if we're not there in the conversations, obviously, but if I had to imagine what it would be like, I think they would fit from a idealistic standpoint of what they want on both sides. I think he understands Marcus Freeman. He would understand Marcus Freeman and what he wants, and he can show film for that. You know, he'd be like, look how we did your rival. We're running left, right, in the middle. They had no answer for us. But then again, it's like Marcus Freeman he's been very smart and calculated about what he's been doing. And I think he's going to be able to figure it out. It's just, will we be surprised? Maybe, you know, he comes from left field and bring one of his homeboys from wherever. We've seen it done before. Mm-hmm. I think this league is built on guys that you trust and you know, more so than maybe even they the right candidate because of the name, you know. So we'll see what happens.
Absolutely. I see someone said Weiss Jr. Come on, man.
We love nepotism at ND, man. Just because they got the last name don't mean they producing the same stuff now.
Look,
We a
I
last
think
name school,
at
man.
that point, I think,
We love them last names, man. We gonna take a Martin.
yeah.
We're gonna always take a Martin. We always gonna take some Kelly. Something Kelly.
And look, Jay Henry said something. Look, Ryan Grubb and Brian, I think Brian Kime said it as well. Let me give him some credit. Thank you for tapping in, both you guys. Look, Ryan Grubb has a top 3 college football quarterback and 2 of the best wide receivers in all of college football coming back. That dude is not leaving Washington. For who? Definitely not for Notre
Exactly.
Dame.
I
That dude
mean,
is sit. Come on, bruh. Stop.
but we got to
Stop.
think it long term though.
Stop.
We think
Stop.
it long term.
No. Let me ask you something. Would you leave being able to post this season on your resume when you can go get another job next year? This is not. That's
But
not
it's
the
not gonna be
situation
at
you
Notre
walk away
Dame
from.
though. It's not
See,
gonna be Notre Dame
see.
though.
Look, man, I love Notre Dame, but sometimes y'all the homerism is way too much, bro. Stop.
Over
Stop.
Washington?
Stop. Stop.
Washington just got good
But
again
once
the last
again,
year.
listen to what I'm saying. You don't know what he wants to do.
Oh, very true. Very true.
If
It's
his
hard to leave
ultimate
Michael Penix.
goal, if his ultimate goal is the NFL,
Oh, well, yeah. I
why would
mean,
he leave Michael Penix Jr.
no,
and
he
2
wouldn't
of
do that.
the top 10 receivers in all
Yeah,
of college football?
if he try to go to the league, I wouldn't leave neither.
It
We
makes
just
no
saying you want
sense.
a good job. You want a good
Yeah.
job in college football. Stay
It's like,
around Notre
dude,
Dame.
it's easy to read, like, okay, for him not to choose Alabama, his arc of what he wants has to be a little bit higher than going to another place for a few years as a coordinator. He's aiming a little bit higher.
He's shooting for that Bill resume.
Thank you. And I get it. I get it. A lot of times people don't understand why these coaches make certain moves. They make the moves according to how they see themselves and what they want to do next.
Because, like you said,
And
you
it's
just read
simple as
off
that.
who was it? The guy from Utah. You said he had 7 1,000-yard rushers.
No, it's Jason Candle.
Jason Candle, 7 1,000-yard rushers or something
Oh,
like that.
seasons, not rushes, but
Seasons.
7 seasons. Yeah.
This guy probably wants to be like first round quarterback taken, undefeated season. Got him.
Facts.
That's resume
Facts.
building. I would want that too.
That's NFL calling for an OC gig. So I understand why Ryan Grubb, might have wanted to stay at Washington because he has a darn good situation.
Yeah.
As an OC. If you think the Notre Dame situation is good, that Washington situation is absolutely fantastic for an offensive coordinator. And I understand why he might have turned it down. Byron Leftwich is somebody that you brought up initially, Left. Why do you think it would work?
I think it would work because what Brian Leftwich has understanding of is he is able to score points and he's able to put up yards. The two things that I feel like the reason why Tommy left, because he couldn't get that done specifically. And it's something that Brian Leftwich the last 3 years have been second in the league behind Kansas City for 3 years in a row. So a guy that has enough knowledge to score points and gain yards is somebody I think that from a Notre Dame aspect would be a step up because we didn't have points and yards that led the country.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I feel like Marcus Freeman and Brian Leftwich could connect on a different level. From you're saying you need to have great relationships, and I think that plays a major part in the trust aspect. I believe that Brian Leftwich wants to win, and him being successful at Notre Dame, like winning the championship, will give him much more of a credit to go get one of these NFL head coaching jobs like he had previously. But him being fired or let go after a down year, he ain't gonna get no NFL job right away, right back. I think it'd be a great reset for him to come to Notre Dame, win a championship with Marcus Freeman, and I think it'll be a win-win for both guys.
Yeah. Steve C., what did I do?
He said, "We all learning here, Shaun."
No, what did I do? I'm just trying to provide information. I don't know what I did. Yeah, Leftwich. I'm sure he'll let. It'll be interesting, right?
It'd be interesting,
Because
He just come
everything's
off of
going
Tom
on
Brady.
during Super Bowl week, and he'll see where he sits in the landscape of the NFL. But I mean, his presence, who he is as a man, speaks for itself.
Sure, we get Eric
I think he
McLennan.
would be a heck of a recruiter and
Of
developer
course.
of quarterbacks. That would be
Of
the one
course.
positive.
He said, I had Tom Brady and we won a Super Bowl together just 2 years ago.
I mean, that's a pretty good resume filler. So
But he got that and can't get in the league. That's
yeah,
crazy.
but then you have another guy. If you get him, I'm sure he wants to be back in the NFL at some point. So these are the questions that Marcus Freeman is going to have to ask. Like, what's your long-term goals? What's your ultimate goal at this point? Are you trying to go to the NFL? Are you trying to be a head coach in college football? And he has to find that right fit, for his program. Like everybody on the list can do a darn good job because the tools are there. The tools are there. You're not walking into a situation where the cupboard is bare. The
No.
tools are there. It's a
That's why
very,
Sam Hartman
very
got there.
attractive job. It's a very attractive job right now. Far more attractive than it was this time last year.
But a lot of guys don't want to take on that challenge, even though it's attractive. It's attractive because it's high pressure. If this was a comfortable job where your expectations is at least get 7 games and beat 2 of your rivals,
Mm-hmm.
that's almost more attractive for guys that are in it to try to stay in it to make some money.
Mm-hmm.
But if you got a guy that's not too ambitious, he's not taking that Notre Dame job. How can
Yeah.
he?
Yeah.
You trying to keep a job, not be on the brink of stressed out and lose a job.
Yeah.
And I think that adds to a coaching life perspective. If you coaching and this is your career and you want to go to Notre Dame, yeah, it's probably available, but your leash is on a week-to-week basis.
Yo, let's get to some of these super
I'll try to
chats,
stack the
man.
bread a little bit. Let me go to
Yeah.
New Mexico, win 5 or 6 games, couple 100,000. I'll try something else,
Yeah. So your top 3, I know Andy Ludwig is at the top for you.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. So what your top 3 right now will be Andy Ludwig, Byron. I know Byron Leftwich is somebody you
Byron's in
brought
there,
up
but that's
last
more of
week.
a
That's
that's like
a
Christmas list.
fantasy Christmas list.
Like
Yeah.
if Santa was looking out,
Yeah. Give me
And
a
then
top 3.
I think the last one would be I like Joe Moorhead. I like Joe Moorhead a lot just because I think that as a recruiting base, we won't lose from that. And him having head coaching experience, especially with quarterbacks, I think we could be safe with a choice like that. And he probably wants to get out of Akron. Not that he doesn't want to be there, but he probably wants to.
He's trying to okay. He wants to be Jay Reed and come pray to God. You
Yeah,
want to get out of Akron?
You
You want to get out of Akron?
Listen, South Bend's a
Okay,
lot
Joe
nicer than
Moorhead,
Akron.
Jay Reed. He wants
It
to
ain't like he
come
coming from
get out of Akron and
island paradise into the cold. You going from terrible cold to at least you got South Bend and touchdown Jesus. We get you a jacket or something, and we going to Nike or maybe. So we'll see.
So those of you that might not know, that's a In Too Deep movie reference right there.
In too deep. Oh, I forgot. I don't even think Tony Alford's looking, but if he was looking, Tony Alford would be on my top 3 for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. He don't want to be under Ryan Day. Come on, man. Ryan Day ain't Urban.
Yeah.
Tony Alford, come on home, man. Look, I know you want to be a head coach too. Just give us 2 years. Let's get a championship. Let's run off with it. And then you go do your thing.
Super chats. I got Truman Theodore Dumel. Thank you for the super chat. Is there a guy out there who brings that Marcus Freeman coaching style energy? But as an OC, I want that type of guy also as a veteran OC. Man, well, you got a long list like some of these ladies out here. So you want a guy with energy? You want a guy that's a veteran?
Sheesh.
And that's that
Very
type
specific.
Man, veterans are usually like mild mannered and real chill, but
because they've been doing it so long.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure, like I said, There are a lot of energetic young guys out there. And as Marcus Freeman goes through his Zoom calls and his lists and his connections, and people vouch for, certain people, that combination is definitely out there. I don't know. I haven't spent time around Andy Ludwig, Joe Moore, but I'm sure when they first got their jobs, they were like really energetic. You know what I'm saying? Andy Ludwig, that's my only thing with Andy Ludwig. Does he want to leave
Yeah,
the comfort? That's it.
that's it.
Like, if he wants to leave the comfort and he's excited, man, you can bring him to campus right now.
Right now.
D Beasy, Tim Brown was speaking facts. Thank you for super chat, D Beasy. A guy, Jason Hewlett, has multiple. Do you think Tommy would have looked past Kenny? Hartman this year, Buck next year, then CJ comes. I hope the new OC doesn't have trust issues or respect the person. The best should play.
Tommy would have 100 looked past Kenny,
You heard it from Left.
in my opinion. I think Kenny was the save face for Tommy. Because we didn't get Dante. We were supposed to get Dante. Now we got to get Dante all the way in Westwood, over by my neck of the woods.
And Kenny Minchie called Notre Dame.
Yeah, Kenny. That's what I'm saying. Kenny, not Keaton Slovis was. It's not like the Keaton Slovis situation where we calling him before workouts, before he get up and eat his breakfast. We ain't doing that with Kenny. Kenny had to see it on Craigslist, find a number, reach out, and Tom was like, "Oh, thank goodness somebody saved my bacon," because we wouldn't finna have a 23 guy.
Matt Kaufman says, did he take his daddy with him to Bama? Talking about Tommy Rees. Thank you for the super chat. Zach Martin. That's what's up. All the way from Dallas? No, I'm sure that's not the same Zach Martin.
Man, yeah, because that super chat need to be a little heftier now.
The best thing that will come of this is getting rid of Father Rees and the rest of the BK stench out of the football department.
That's what we were saying. Just it's finally a clean house. Now, I ain't got no excuses for Marcus Freeman now. It's going to be on him, and that's why this decision for the next OC is so important.
David Prevost, thank you for the super chat. Are there others on staff, without mentioning names if you can't, that you hear this about? Tommy was supposedly a great guy, a great ND guy until he leaves. I don't know what his relationship was with the staff. Like we said,
what I heard, everybody liked him. Everybody thought he was really organized and he had a lot in the tank. Everybody was like really respective of his approach to getting the offense ready for this year. He Stan loved him. We talked about that in the spring. He was like, man, been around a lot of programs. Tommy really got his stuff together. So, maybe he just have his office clean all the time or something.
Yeah. I guess that was a response to what we talked about as far as, it's not just football. Like Tim Brown and others that you've spoken to more specifically. It's a little bit more to just football, to why people are happy.
Yeah, it's the attitude. I think you get a refresh on the attitude that I think can come off of Tommy sometimes as being elitist or too good to be, fraternizing with the college football space. How Marcus Freeman is a warm, welcoming person, walking to the room. Everybody, sits up really excited for him to be here, and then Tommy comes in looking like he just got done training, Rocky or something, with a hat, skull beanie on, big old sweatshirt on. It's like, man, this man must be going through it at home. Not very welcoming as an offensive coordinator to your head coach, who is a dynamic, thermostat leader. You looking at Marcus Freeman like, this your OC? That don't even look like a representation of you as the head coach. But under Kelly, Tommy, I think, fits the perfect personality of his head coach, because they like the same almost, a little stiff in the pants or whatever. But I think Marcus Freeman can get a guy that fits his personality, like Dina McCullough. So when he go on the road, Marcus Freeman's personality and the OC's personality is not too much off.
It's an extension.
It's an extension
of him. Well said, Left. That's well said. Jason Hewlett, thank you for the super chat. Y'all know something. Spill it. We don't know anything.
Man,
not at this point. I gotta let Left. Left is down there at the Super Bowl. I gotta let Left rub shoulders and make calls.
Yeah, we gotta make it happen.
Digging. Andrew Gilmore. Any thoughts on Alex Atkins, FSU OC? He's a recruiter. Why would he leave?
Why would he leave?
Why would he leave FSU this year? Like this would be the worst year to leave Florida State. And once again, like I'm not saying
worst year.
I'm not saying Notre Dame isn't a better job than Florida State.
Right.
Why would he? They're stacked offensively. Why would he leave?
You got to think guys are trying to feed families and stuff. So if you build it up, you trying to enjoy it. You ain't trying to leave for another challenge.
Yeah. And then he knows what he's going to produce this year.
He knows much talent.
He does, man, his players know his system. They can hit the ground running. He doesn't have to come in and install and nah. Now, I don't know if people want Longo, who's now, I think Longo is in Wisconsin right now. Do you go snatch him? Do you talk to him because he really hasn't done anything quite yet? I don't know what type of recruiter he is. I saw his name.
Again. You think Urban be OC?
Man, stop playing, man. Nobody calling Urban Meyer, man. Dude.
Why we not bringing in no legendary dudes yet? I'm waiting on that. When we bringing in?
Then we might as well go get Barry Alvarez to be the darn athletic director, man. Man, you know what time it is. You bugging right now.
Petticoat. Petticoat Junction.
It's time to get petty.
Oh, we did a good job executing. Are you upset with something?
And fire up the Petticoat Junction train.
I just don't like you.
You don't?
No.
What is today's petty history? Petty Junction.
Petty Junction, Petty Story today brought to you by Onora Whiskey, OnoraWhiskey.com, that premium American whiskey, OnoraWhiskey.com. I want to give credit to Ant_VR who put this up, and I did see it. Jaden Mickey on the Petty train this week on his IG post. He said he's in motion like I played for Tommy Rees. Come on, man. Jaden Mickey, you're a wild boy for that one. You're a wild boy. You know what? The player reaction was mildly petty, to be honest, to the news. Guys were kind of like, oh, okay, that's what we're doing? Bet. We got something to prove now.
That's what it be feeling like.
You think Alabama's better than us? Okay.
Marcus Freeman definitely about to, pull out his head coach in Petty, man. I can't wait.
Yeah. Look, man. The NFL, bro.
Social media is trying to ruin his credibility. How did they post a fake? Was it a fake, or they try to really say that's the score between the Chiefs and the Eagles this week?
Man, look, you saw that post?
I saw it, and I'm like, I hope that's not real, man. That'll ruin my love.
37-34 Eagles, right?
37-34 Eagles. It's supposed to be 10
with Arian Foster, with his scripts and all that stuff. Look, man.
Now, I'm going to put my money on the Eagles now because I saw that.
The flag football, right. That's exactly what Vegas wants you to do, too.
That's what they want.
Just like 70% of the money came in on the Bengals in the AFC Championship game, and Vegas was like,
real interested. Yeah, they said, "Oh yeah, we're not gonna let y'all run away with the house money like that. Don't call that penalty. Let's redo a play."
And for so many other reasons, man. The NFL, that flag football, I don't know, man.
Oh my God, for the Pro Bowl?
I don't know.
Next thing
I understand player safety
for the game.
as much money as they're paying these players, I understand player safety, not wanting to get players hurt. But football players, Left, you say it all the time. Football players want to play. They understand the
Yeah, look, it's
dangers.
a job. This isn't like, something where we're forcing you to go out there and do. It's a job. It's a hard job. If you don't want to crash into people, don't play.
Yeah,
You can't make the game safe. Just don't play.
yeah.
It's cool. People be acting like, man, we gotta
And who were
figure
you
out how to.
trolling? You were trolling somebody from Ohio State. You do it all the time. You were trolling somebody from Ohio State that was still complaining about that hit on Marvin Harrison Jr.
Oh, yeah, like, come on, man. Like, I don't think people realize, first of all, how fast the shit happens.
Facts.
And then add on to the fact where that can be deciding your future career. That can decide the team's future in that game. If you don't break up the football or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you got to put all that in the forethought before you start saying, oh, that was a bad. You're like, man, my football career is depending on making these plays. Am I
And this
trying to hurt
dude,
the dude?
the
No.
Georgia safety is saying, man, I cannot let this dude score this touchdown.
He been cooking us all game.
And this egregious, extra egregious run. Like, man, calm down.
Because you know what's crazy? You know what egregious looks like on a football field because it's obvious. The Cortland Finnegan and Andre Johnson fight, that's egregious.
Yeah.
Because it was obvious. What Trent Williams did to the Eagles player, that's egregious.
Right.
But it was obvious.
What Dylan Brooks did to your boy.
Egregious.
That's egregious.
It was obvious. That's the type of shit you want to prevent. You're not trying to prevent a bang bang play. Cause look what it looks like. Flag football at the Pro Bowl. Terrible. Terrible. It's like football players aren't swaggy with their helmets off like basketball players. It don't look the same.
I happened to catch the ESPN 30 for 30 Bullies of Baltimore last night.
Oh, Shannon Sharp's on that thing.
Man, I missed that type of football, bro.
Oh.
Man, they showed the 3 games from that season between Baltimore and the Tennessee Titans. Look here, man. Yup, look, you can enjoy this modern football where no one gets touched. Points on the board, all of that. Where quarterbacks are basically playing 7-on-7.
I like that old stuff.
That was some grown man football, bro.
That's right.
That was some grown man football. You understand that these dudes won the Super Bowl and they didn't score a touchdown for 5 straight weeks?
Wait, what?
I forgot about this. They didn't score a touchdown as an offense for 5 weeks left, and they won the Super
still
Bowl.
winning games.
They were shutting people out.
They just kicking field goals against teams all day.
Dude, it was bananas. That's how bad they were beating people on the football field. Another super chat. Spicy show today. Appreciate your perspectives on it. And those of LL Nation. Keep spinning the dick. Absolutely. That's why we love you guys.
That's why we love you.
That's why we love you, man. I missed another super chat. I'm trying to find it so we can get out of here left.
So much going on.
There it is. Milton Fan 15, thank you for super chat. Any former players / coaches you like for OC?
Me for OC, I like that.
Yeah, that's about it.
Bookie, we going to the Super Bowl. Marcus Freeman got you.
But yeah, it was actually a pretty good. It was pretty good, Left. So that's who do we put? We put Jaden Mickey, the NFL, Dylan Brooks. Who else goes on the petty train?
Tom Brady. Just because it's Tom Brady.
He put Tom Brady on the petty train. Peyton Manning for being mad that he lost that game yesterday.
Oh,
like, man, calm down, dude. Good grief, man. Like, being a competitor is cool, but
not in real life. Not when you retire.
Man, what did
it go?
Flag football, bro. This man. Oh man, left. Tomorrow, I guess unless we have some breaking news, tomorrow we'll get back to what we were supposed to be doing today, which is Back to the Future.
Yep.
This is going to be a really good game because we learned a lot about this upcoming season, from watching the Cal game from
Oh yeah.
last year. That Cal game was, man,
Probably the most frustrating game outside of watching the Stanford game.
it's
Till we lost.
amazing. It's amazing how you dredge up the emotions of these games, viewing them again. The Cal game was one of those. The Cal game was like, we should have beat these dudes by at least 3 touchdowns.
Yeah,
Like, what are
winning
we
didn't
doing?
feel good in that game.
Like,
How
what are
winning
we
don't feel
doing?
good.
What are we doing right now? Lucky Lefty Podcast, Apple Podcast, Spotify, CFB Nation in conjunction with Irish Breakdown. All of our great content. Leave your message. Leave 5 stars. We greatly appreciate it. Go to our YouTube page, Lucky Lefty Podcast. Subscribe. Smash the like button for us. Respond. We respond to, man, leave your messages. We respond to all comments. We appreciate you guys. The climb is real. We're a success because of you. It's the Lucky Lefty Podcast. We spin it different. For the original Lucky Lefty himself, Malik Zaire, I'm Shaun Davis. He'll be out there like 50 in the club.
Oh, Jesus. I'll be around for sure. A lot going on, man. If you out here,
And
say
I'll
what's
keep
up.
grinding. You catch me in about a good 20 minutes on the recruiting show with Ryan Roberts over on Irish Breakdown. Great interview coming for you, and more great conversation about the loss of Tommy Rees from a recruiting standpoint. So Irish Breakdown shortly. For Left, have a great Monday, but most of all, make sure that you spin it different.